Hello everyone, welcome to this video on the Doctrine of Severability, a crucial legal doctrine under Article 13 of the Indian Constitution. This doctrine ensures that an invalid or unconstitutional provision does not affect an entire law. Let's explore this concept in detail. The doctrine of severability, also called the doctrine of separability, is a fundamental principle that safeguards our fundamental rights. It ensures that if a particular provision of a law is unconstitutional, it can be severed or removed without affecting the entire law. This doctrine traces its root back to England, where it was first recognized in the Norton-Felt case. In this case, the court ruled that if a provision in a contract or law is unreasonable, only that provision should be removed while keeping the rest intact. In India, the doctrine of severability is enshrined in Article 13 of the Constitution of India. It states that if a law has any provision that violates fundamental rights, only that specific provision shall be declared void while the rest of the law continues to operate. Article 13 ensures that fundamental rights remain protected from unconstitutional laws. Article 13 Clause 1 invalidates any pre-constitutional law that is inconsistent with fundamental rights. Article 13 Clause 2 prohibits the state from making any post-constitutional law that violates fundamental right. The Supreme Court in the case of RMDC versus Union of India 1957 established key principles regarding the doctrine of severability. The legislature's intent determines whether an unconstitutional provision can be removed. If valid or invalid parts are inseparable, the entire law becomes void. If the valid part can function independently, it remains enforceable. The court cannot rewrite laws, it can only remove unconstitutional provisions. One major limitation of the doctrine of severability is that if the valid and invalid provisions are so closely linked that separating them would change the law's meaning, then the entire law will be declared invalid. Let's discuss some landmark cases. A.K. Gopalan vs. State of Madras. The Supreme Court struck down Section 14 of the Preventive Detention Act but ruled that the rest of the law remains valid. State of Bombay versus F.N. Balsara, the Supreme Court removed 8 unconstitutional sections of the Bombay Prohibition Act, allowing the rest of the law to remain in force. The doctrine of severability is crucial because it prevents the entire law from being struck down due to a minor unconstitutional provision. It protects the intent of the legislature, ensuring that laws serve their purpose. It avoids unnecessary judicial interference, maintaining the balance of power between the judiciary and the legislature. The doctrine of severability is a vital constitutional principle that ensures fundamental rights are safeguarded while allowing laws to remain functional. By separating unconstitutional provisions instead of striking down entire law, it helps maintain a stable and effective legal system. That's all for today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with more legal insights. See you in the next video.